Before signing a marriage license, more and more couples are signing mortgage contracts, not for romance, but to save cash. The National Association of Realtors reports unmarried couples make up 18% of first-time home buyers. That's up from about 4% back in 1985, a lifetime ago. The leading reason, of course, is price. Homes have gone up 40% with higher borrowing costs and those interest rates. And it's a big commitment. Of course, you got to plan. And you got to think about what's going to happen if y'all break up. Mitch Roschelle, Managing Director of Madison Ventures and visiting research fellow at the University of San Diego School of Business, is here to talk about it. Good morning to you, Mitch. I would think that most people are excited to save money, to do something together, to come in as business partners, in a sense, even if they are making love. But this could be risky. I mean, what are the chances? What kinds of agreement should be in place if you're going to do this with somebody that you're with right now, but chances are you might not be by the end of that mortgage?
You answered your own question, Adrienne. Good morning. The fact is, if you're in a business transaction, you generally have an agreement between the partners in the business. It could be a partnership agreement. It could be some other document. So if you're buying a home with your unmarried partner, you might as well have an agreement as well. Let's say one person puts more money in for the down payment than the other. What happens if you sell the house? Does the money get split the same way? So I'd strongly encourage you to have an agreement that sort of spells out all of the gory details of how you're going to own the house and how you're going to pay the bills.
But do you bring that up? And is there a certain way that's best to bring it up? Or should you say, can we just go and talk to somebody and then maybe give a call first to that financial advisor or broker and be like, okay, so this is what's going to happen. We're going to go in there and you're going to be the bad cop. Because otherwise you put a strain on the relationship a bit, right?
Well, when you buy a house, you generally have a lawyer that helps you with the closing. I would strongly encourage anybody buying a house to have a lawyer help them with it. So why not have that same lawyer help with that agreement? And if the lawyer isn't able to do that because that's not their area of expertise, find somebody who is. But I definitely encourage you to have spend some time with a lawyer and have a solid agreement in place.
If one of the members of the partnership, one of the members of the couple, has a family member who's a lawyer, or has somebody who they know, oh, I have a friend who can help us out, do you advise that the other person says, let's go with somebody who neither one of us know? Or is it best to kind of, just play to your strengths? Like, oh, okay, you know somebody, that's great. What would you do?
I think it's fine if it's somebody because, listen, this is the biggest financial transaction that most people will make in their lifetimes in terms of buying your first home. So it's overwhelming, and there's a lot of what I'd call legalese in terms of all of the contracts, what a mortgage looks like, and so forth. So somebody that you already know and have a relationship with is fine. I mean, lawyers are, required to be objective. Just because they know one person and not the other, that doesn't mean that they're going to tilt things in that person's favor. So I think a lawyer that you already know is not a bad idea at all.
Real quickly, is there anything that most couples don't consider when they're going into a purchase like this together?
I think the best advice I have is have a joint checking account before you even go down that path. And does nothing to do with credit, but it demonstrates the discipline of sharing costs and having something financially in common. So if you think about buying a home, and it may take 6 months to find that home because there's very little homes on the market, why don't you set up a joint checking account now just to get the ball rolling?
That's great advice, Mitch. There are a lot of married couples who don't do that. But if you're going to jointly buy a house, you might as well jointly have a bank account. That's at least a little test of trust. Mitch Roschelle, always good to speak with you. Thank you.
You bet, Adrienne.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.